Hello and welcome to this episode of Separating Numbers from Variables. So here is a number, 3, and here is a variable, x. Our goal is to separate those two things. Right now they are connected, but we need to get them apart from one another. So let's look at this first kind of problem. 3x is equal to 12. Notice that in front of the variable is just a number. So what do we do when there is just a number in front of a variable? We divide both sides by that number. 3 and 3. Those will cancel out. And this final answer will become x is equal to 4. So sometimes you will see just a number in front of a variable, and other times you will see a fraction in front of that variable. So here we have a new problem. 2/3 x is equal to 6. In order to get rid of this fraction in front of the variable, you will multiply both sides by the opposite of that fraction. So notice how I've multiplied both sides by the opposite of 2/3. If you flip 2/3 around, you get 3/2, and I multiplied both sides by 3/2. This will leave me with an answer of 6x is equal to 18/2. This 6 and this 6 cancel out, and 18/2 will come down to x is equal to 9. So let's quickly review. In front of a variable, you will see two things. The first thing you might see is just a number. The next thing you might see in front of a variable is a fraction. When there is just a number, what you are going to do is divide both sides by that number, which will simplify out to x is equal to 3. Now when you see a fraction in front, what you're going to do is multiply everything by the opposite of that fraction. So the fraction that we have is 2/5. The opposite of 2/5 is 5/2. And notice how I multiplied both sides by 5/2. And this will simplify to 10/10x is equal to 20/2. Our 10s will cancel out, and we'll have a final answer of x is equal to 10. Now, quickly, we're just going to look at one last thing. If you have multiple things on the other side of the equal sign, such as this 10y and this 25, you need to make sure to divide everything by 5. I divided this by 5, this by 5, and this by 5, for a final answer of x is equal to 2y plus 5.